Hey guys, what's up? GreenMachineSam back with another video. And today, of course, we have week 4 of Tennessee Titans franchise. We're going into Indianapolis to take on the Indianapolis Colts. We're playing our 3-game road stretch. So we went down to Miami. We're going up to Indianapolis, and then we're going all the way back down to Houston to finish off this 3-game road stretch. So let's get into things. Of course, we were negotiating with a couple people last week. Of course, Azeez Al-Shaair coming off of his big game. We tried to lowball him. He doesn't quite like it. I'm willing to settle for this, to be fair. You know, you always start him low. He's back for 2 years. We have him locked up. We're still at $100 million before we even touch a lot of our big free agents, I feel like. And I don't even know if big free agents are particularly, like, the correct term, you know. Because a lot of these guys are going to regress past the point of wanting to keep them, of course. There are some guys that I would like to keep around, like Taylor Lewan, who does have the mentor tag, as well as the fact that he has been a Tennessee Titan his whole entire career. You know, we're just going to pretend as if he had another injury and took a year off in 2023. But everybody else, you know, Tyron Smith he's actually let up the most sacks, believe it or not. He's let up 3. Could that partially be on me? Yeah, that definitely could partially be on me. But overall, he has let up 3 sacks, so that is something we do need to discuss. Peter Skoronski, though, has the least amount of sacks. He's given up 0 so far. Everybody else on the O-line has at least given up 1. I think everybody on the O-line has given up 1 besides Peter Skoronski, but Tyron Smith is the only one who's given up multiple. So kind of interesting fact there. Nicholas Petit-Fier, even with his 50 downs played last week, didn't give up a sack as well, so that's pretty nice. D-Hop hasn't particularly shot out of a cannon this year, but that's to be expected for the most part. He's also a trade-off at the midseason mark. Ryan Stonehouse is another guy that I would be willing to bring back. I'd be willing to go up to this. We can continue to negotiate with him for a while. If I have to, at the end of the season, I can always use staff points to try to unlock him and re-sign him. Granted, it's not like he's going to get signed in free agency. Most punters and kickers don't get signed until eval period 3 or going into the next season when teams actually have to sign somebody. Treylon Burks, I just can't, like I said before, I can't pay him $21 million. I think he would cost at most $12 million if we just signed him right away. So no matter what, I will be declining his 5th-year option. And then the rest of the guys, like I said, they're going to regress past the point of return. Joseph Asai is cool, but for $6 million a year, is he really that guy? I don't know. Yes, he's leading the team in sacks right now with Calais Campbell at 1.5 each. But I don't think he's particularly the guy that's going to, lead us to the promised land. So that will take care of player negotiations for now. I don't think we have any upgrades, or if we we went through them last week. I still don't think there's going to be any quality trade offers in there. QB1 check-in. So I was wrong. Will Levis has only thrown 6 picks. That's still a fuck ton. We're going to keep airing it out. Look, we have to decide whether or not he's the guy over the next couple weeks, or whether or not we're going to shift our focus a little bit. Because if he's not the guy and if we're not winning games, especially in the next 2 games, we have the Texans again, so we're getting both of their games out of the way within the first 5 weeks. We have the Colts, who we haven't been able to beat yet. We've only played them twice, though, going into our 3rd game. And then, of course, the Chiefs. So we have a very hard stretch ahead of us for the next, from week 3 to week 6. It's going to be a hard stretch. It's going to be challenging. This could really determine how the season goes. If we go on a 4-game losing streak, or even going 1-3, could ultimately ruin our chances, ruin our hopes and morales going forward, and would probably shift us towards, tanking it, kind of, I guess. I'm going to go through weekly strategy, but first we're going to go ahead and make probably a trade for another tight end, as we do need one going into this game. Yeah, I'm stealing Reed Blankenship. I've decided that he's too good of a player for him to be sitting in free agency on a practice squad. I'm stealing him. I do not care where I have to use him at or where I'm putting him at on the roster, which does put a dent in things, because that doesn't mean I have to get rid of somebody. Now, of course, you may be wondering, oh, you were just at 52. How do you have to get rid of somebody? I did go ahead and sign 2 tight ends. I was looking at the trades, and I'm just like, it doesn't make sense for me to trade for a guy, right? I have Chig, I have Wiley, I have Morris. I like all 3 of those guys. Those guys are all young. Let's just go out and get a veteran that I like. 2 guys that I looked at were O.J. Howard and, of course, Robert Tonyan in free agency when we decided to go with Drew Sample. So, with that being said, we went up and picked up both O.J. Howard and Robert Tonyan. So the tight end squad looking pretty good. Robert Tonyan will probably be the cut candidate once Drew Sample comes back, as O.J. Howard provides a little bit more of a receiving threat from his edge, from my standpoint. I think he's just a little bit better of a player. So I'm going to go with O.J. Howard once Drew Sample is back, of course, which then, like I said, of course, brings up the notion of what do we do. Now, you could simply sit here and say, oh, Josh Thompson's the easy answer. He's one of the lower-rated guys on the team, just in general. He's down there, right? Of course he is. I understand that. But the real answer, I think, is Arden Key. Hear me out. He's not fast enough to really be a special teamer. He doesn't have the speed, acceleration, or just the athletic ability to be a special teamer. And his contract's coming up anyway. It won't really matter. His cap hit's going to hurt. Yes, it will for the most part. But I think it makes sense to trade him off right now. I went ahead and looked at some of the offers just to see what we were gauging. He has been on the trade block for multiple weeks. And I don't want a player in return. And as weird as that may sound, it just doesn't make sense for me to bring in a player. Sebastian Joseph Day is cool, but for $9 million, I don't really want him. And, whoever I bring in is a cut candidate. So Jalen Tolbert probably makes this most sense. Just from a standpoint of we would bring Jalen Tolbert in, we would release him. We would say, hey, you can go sign with whoever. But then we would get a 5th and a 7th in return for Arden Key, virtually getting something in return. Jalen Tolbert, of course, would be cut as we don't need a wide receiver at this moment. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do. Jalen Tolbert, technically, welcome to the team for like 5 seconds, and then you're getting cut, big dog. Sorry, that's just how it is. I'm going to have to reorder the depth chart because of the moves that I've just made, of course. But I think we're in a good situation. I really do. I think this should put us in the correct direction. I'm going to put Jalen Tolbert on practice squad. If somebody picks him up, that's fine. I'd be more than willing to let him walk, of course. So I do have to change up a couple things in the depth chart, and then we will hop into the game, of course. Okay, so the Colts offense will elect to come out to the 25-yard line. Jeffrey Simmons finally playing his second game of the season, 4 games into the season now. He missed the last 2 weeks due to practice injury. He will be here today. Will he show up is the major thing. Anthony Richardson, 5 touchdowns, 4 picks on the year. So he hasn't had a great year by any stretch of the imagination, but playing against this defense, he should be able to have a okay day at least. 1st and 10, Jonathan Taylor and this offensive line should be something to watch for all game. Jack Gibbons gets picked up, and it's going to be Florence one-on-one, and he gets scared. Farley has to come all the way across the field. 35 yards there already for Taylor. Middle of the road rush defense, and, well, we get fucking picked off right there. Jair's going to have a big game again, apparently. Meets Taylor in the hole. Only allows him to get 2. There we go. Jair having to step up, make that play. Stop Taylor from getting any more. Jair, like I said, going to have to play phenomenally today. He's going to have to be the main factor of this defense for the most part. Coming back to pass now here on 2nd and 8. And it's picked off by Von Florence, thrown behind the tight end. And Von Florence will get his first pick of his young NFL career. Our first round pick, wearing number 31 to replace Kevin Byard at free safety. And he looks dope. He gets his first pick of his young career. We will immediately take over at their 30. We got off balance. Has to move in the pocket a little bit. Thrown behind Lawori. I don't know. However the fuck you say that tight end's name. Will Levis going to get his first chance of the day. Yeah, 4 touchdowns, 6 picks, almost 800 yards. Even if it was just 4 picks, 4 by 4, I think you could consider that pretty good to start off the season. But we do have to get him going a little bit more. Just get him some easier completion. Stop forcing stuff. I'm not playing with a great QB. Oh, there's Melton, but overthrown by Levis. I know there was pressure in his face from DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart, but, man, you got to hit that there. You're not going to get many better opportunities than that. O.J. Howard's going to get a lot of play time in this universe. We basically brought him in for a tryout in the offseason. Didn't work out. We didn't end up picking him up. And I don't know who 96 is, but he probably saved me from throwing a pick. Bryce Huff. They got Bryce Huff. Okay, they got a D-line then. Quiddy Pay, Grover Stewart, Bryce Huff, and DeForest Buckner. That's a D-line right there. That's going to be hard to beat. 3rd and 10. Looking. Wiley's open. Throwing the ball. That's the first completion of the day. Josh Wiley. Josh fucking Wiley comes to play every single goddamn day. He makes Kenny Moore look like a fucking toddler. 1st and 10 all the way down to 39. Now let's get the run game going. Now that we have solidified that we can complete a pass here in Indianapolis, let's get the run game going. Sean Haskins downfield will get the first rush of the day for only 3 yards, though. Speed, and I forget their other linebacker. I don't even know if he would be on the team at this point, considering the fact that one of them could have hit free agency. Play action here again. Wiley or Spears out of the backfield basically could be open. Spears gets tackled immediately. Zaire Franklin is his name. Completely forgot about him. That's their other linebacker. They got speed at that linebacker core too, so yeah, it's gonna be a tough game. It definitely is going to be a tough game. We have to be able to continuously move the football. Spears picks up a couple there. 4th and 4. Probably should just settle for the field goal, unfortunately. It's telling me to go for it, though. Really? I don't know about this. I also didn't move Burks up to the number 1 receiver. I want him to be the focal point of this offense. Right there, Burks. He doesn't hold on to the football. No. He runs a route. He breaks free. I throw it low to him, and he doesn't hold on to the football. So a turnover on downs will bring the Colts offense back out onto the field. 51 rushes for 262 on the season for Jonathan Taylor. Pretty productive year so far for him. Yeah, that's... When I move you up to number 1 wide receiver and you do that, that's not exactly giving me a whole ton of confidence. Just putting that out there. Jeffrey Simmons tries to make the play. Doesn't quite make it. There's Shire's contract. He gets 12 over 2. So he'll be back for at least another 2 seasons. So he'll be playing at minimum of 4 seasons with us unless something happens to where we don't think he's the guy anymore. Get out there. Get Jonathan Taylor, and we bring him down for another loss. 1 for 2 for Anthony Richardson. -2 yards on the day and a pick. I'm going to bring the heat. Fuck it. He hasn't shown that he can beat us yet. Jack Gibbons there, and it's a sack for Jack Gibbons. 6-man front. We just win up front. Quentin Nelson takes the more dangerous defensive lineman, and Jack Gibbons there ends up coming up with a sack, and they will be forced to punt here on 4th and 9. Mark Vickers, our 4th-string corner, is also our new punt and kick returner. I didn't want to put him in at first at the beginning of the season because I thought it would drain his energy if we played him a lot. But not the case so far. 1st and 10, I don't really love any of the pass plays out of this formation, so we're going to change to a run, motion Howard, get him on Huff. Let Tyron Smith get up to one of these linebackers maybe. Nope. Dorian Dixon gets beat by DeForest Buckner, and 2-yard loss there for Spears. Just the run game's going to be tough today, so kind of have to get the pass game going, and if it doesn't work, I don't know what exactly we could look towards. O.J. Howard getting his first catch of his year. 7 yards, well, probably would have been 10. Yeah, close to 10. Going to go curls here. Have Spears release immediately. I don't need him waiting. With this defensive line being as good as it is, I can't, I don't have time. Tyron Smith now out. So Taylor Lewan should be hopping over to left then for us. If not, then I will go into he hops over to left, and Nicholas Petit-Fier comes in at right. Hopkins underneath, and I don't know if Hopkins isn't paying attention, if he's mad that he's number 2 now. I don't know. But that's tough. It's right there. The ball, it's not like it was a bad ball. It wasn't great by any particularly means, but I saw Burks late, but Melton, crossbody throw, beats one guy. Can he beat the other one? Julius Brents to the corner? No. Out at the 7, though. I tried to tell Melton just go upfield. That might have worked out better, though. So, we have a chance here. If these linebackers come, it's a 5-man rush immediately. One of these corners could come too. Spears or Melton immediately. Melton. No, Kenny Moore, the slot corner. I forget that he's going to be in the slot for them, and I forget that he's going to be very good. He's going to be able to play this pretty well. Second and goal. Going to run away from DeForest Buckner. Dorian Dixon, all I want you to do is basically just seal him. Just step to your left, let him go past, if anything. Yeah, you don't do that, and of course, we have to run away as much as possible. Third and goal now at the 3. This is somewhere where we struggled last year as well, and you guys saw it earlier in this season, especially against the Dolphins, not being able to punch this ball in. Let's try just a couple different things. And Taylor Lewan gets beat off that edge. Bryce Huff there. Unfortunate. Fourth and goal now. Going to have to settle for 3 here. Too far away to go for it. No chance at a first down. It just makes the most sense to kick the field goal. First and 10 at their own 25. A lot of teams not electing it to bring it out against this defense, against this special teams unit. They're going to run a counter. Jeffrey Simmons there. Brings him down after 4. Jair was just getting bullied by 2 offensive linemen basically there. So good thing Jeffrey Simmons made that play because I don't know who would have. Up 3 at the end of the first quarter. Passing yards are there. Rush yards not really. Wow, their pass yards aren't there either at -8. Second and 6 now. If we have 5 D linemen out there, I want them all going after the quarterback. There's no reason to have one of them drop into coverage, which means we're going to be playing a lot of man. Jair can't get there. Blocked down. Florence not being able to bring him down. Caleb Farley, Amani Hooker. Finally get him out. 5 for 66. I don't know what's going on with Harold Landry, but he continues to get washed down by tight ends. He's another guy that, if he doesn't start performing, I'm going to have to look to move on. I can't be paying him, $25 million for him not to be great in the run game or in the pass game. It would be a different story if he was great in the run game or something, but he just hasn't been. Josh Downs overthrown. Anthony Richardson still having accuracy issues, kind of like Will Levis. 3rd and 9 now. Dropping back to pass. Corner, McCreary, pick. Jair with a block. McCreary has a chance. He's not the fastest guy in the world, but only offensive lineman in front of him. No, there's an Anthony Richardson. Stutter step. Go. McCreary into the end zone. Touchdown, Roger McCreary. Roger McCreary with his 2nd defensive touchdown on the year. The last one was a fumble recovery that he took all the way back to the house. This one, he takes a pick all the way back to the house for a pick 6. On that corner route, plays underneath of it, knowing he has over-the-top help from Amani Hooker, and he ends up picking it off and taking it all the way back. So, the Indianapolis Colts, who have only been able to run the football today, come back out onto the field. I'm expecting to see a little bit more run here. I would think so, and especially after 2 picks. I feel like you would see a little bit more run here coming out from the Colts. Full momentum here. Play action fake, and they get us good. Von Florence nowhere to be found. He was supposed to take over for Roger McCreary on Josh Downs, who was coming in on a blitz. Why the fuck would... Just full blitz. Like, we're not going to... No half-assing. Florence, where the fuck are you? You got to come down harder, big dog. You're our first-round pick. You have to be ready to go. That's 2 straight plays that you've been targeted and 2 straight plays that you have been absent. We have other safeties that I can throw in. Brandon Davidson is waiting. Reed Blankenship. Jason Pinnock. Multiple guys. Monty Hooker there. Monty Hooker also was very good last year. Some would argue he outplayed Kevin Byard at times. 2nd and 13 now. Clock is ticking. Givens is tired. I would like for Evans to come in that situation. And I missed the hit stick on Alec Pierce, and he's going to catch it in front of Jack Gibbons. That's a me thing, of course. I take Jack Gibbons out of coverage there, basically, and unfortunately I'm going to have to pay for it. Dropping back and just throwing it at the slot. Richie James. They've gotten going. They said, hey, fuck it. We've thrown 2 picks. We're going to throw more if we have to. Jonathan Taylor kind of tired. They end up going to the ground game with him being tired. That's kind of a strange decision there. I'm going to drop Keenan Evans off once we fake this blitz. So engage Quentin Nelson, and there's a knock away from both McCreary and Quentin Ayers. 3rd and 9 now. I don't love that Gibbons is already back in. I would have preferred Evans in this situation at 3rd and 9. Having a little bit more speed here would be nice. Von Florence just make the tackle. Comes up, makes the tackle on the tight end. They'll force a 4th and 5. They probably should kick this football. Will Levis back out on the field. He hasn't really done much today. Of course, with the pick 6. Kind of changes a lot of what we are willing to do. We don't have to be as aggressive. 3 minutes as well. We can particularly run the ball if we need to. Burks. Franklin just kind of... That's Franklin, right? 44 is Franklin. Speed's 45, yeah. Franklin, 45, drops right into where I'm trying to throw to Burks. I don't really love what I have here. Melton, I want you to hit this quick out. Hopkins underneath. Catch. Just hold on to the football, get some yards. 3rd and 2 now. I think this is an easy go-for-it case if we don't get it here. You're spreading this D-line. I think with Kenny Moore having to be in the box right now, I think we're in a perfect position to run this football right now. Yeah, we'll even take Kenny Moore out of the box by motioning Hopkins. One-on-one with a safety. Spears makes a man miss. Gets some yards there at minimum. 3rd. 3 for 10 only on the day. Not particularly great, like I've said before, but it's understandable with how good this defensive line is. They have 3 incredible run stoppers and then a very, very good specialist in the pass. Can drop back to pass, just simple patterns here. I'm not seeing a whole ton, and just Kwity Paye once he finally shed off of Petit Fier, he pushed him inside, and once he finally shed, he just got me so fast. Tough to do anything there. 2nd and 20. Don't force anything here. Burks, just balls off target. Will Levis struggling with accuracy. Kind of a story throughout both teams so far today. Just gonna run the football and say fuck it. If we don't get anything, at least hopefully if Indiana isn't smart enough to call a timeout, we can run some clock off. Spears. I don't know what the fuck happened there. He just got stuck in quicksand, and it's a holding call. They're probably not going to accept it. 1st and 10, a minute 16. We just have to play good defense. Not even good defense, okay defense. They haven't particularly proven that they're just been a good offense, and there is Calais Campbell. So he will be back in the lead for sacks on the team. Already a good investment paying off here. 2.5 sacks on the season for the old man. And going against Quentin Nelson, too, so that's no joke there, especially. I don't know I wouldn't remember who he would be going against last week, but nonetheless, 3rd and 14 now. If we can get a stop here, I'm calling timeout. Yeah, call timeout. 2 timeouts. Going to have 35 seconds at minimum left. 35 seconds to drive about 30 yards to get into Trey Wolf's guaranteed field goal range. We have a chance. Bo Melton on this out or Wiley on this crosser here could be open. Looking Melton, I don't know what happened with fucking Hopkins and Moore, but they got tripped up. So when Melton broke and got open for half a second, there was no room to throw the football because Kenny Moore was playing underneath of it. Half the time I feel like Madden does that on purpose just to cover up more routes. 2nd and 21. D-Hop beat his man. Go up and get it. D-Hop goes up and gets it. I'm going to call timeout. Get us back to the line. We can take shots at the end zone now. I think that's a perfect opportunity for us. Bo Melton. If he can release inside and then break out on Kenny Moore, I think we could have him for just a second. Going to keep Wiley in. Zone, though. Going to dump off to Spears. Did he get out? No, he didn't. Fuck. Gotta go. And our guys weren't getting set fast enough. For some reason, that play puts us in a little bit of a different formation set there. That's so fucking annoying. I know that's my fault for even taking that chance there. I should have just thrown the ball away, rolled and thrown, but that's my fault. Bad clock management. That's the end of the half. We'll see you guys in the 3rd quarter. So the offense will have the football at the 21-yard line as well, where we will take over for the first time in the second half, of course. The offense on both teams have really struggled. We've struggled to get going, but we've been able to get yards when we need them, and then the Colts just have struggled to finish, really. I think is the easiest way to put that. No yards here for Spears. Spears has struggled these last 2 weeks. This offensive line has struggled. I don't think I've put him down that far either. I think the D-lines we faced have just played well. There's Burks open. Can he hold on to the football this time? He does. Eric Johnston, an edge rusher that we looked at in the draft, he ends up leaving the game. So 2 new edge rushers in this division for us, and both Alani Fitzpatrick and the guy that just left. Dropping back to pass. Wiley across the middle, and I literally see Franklin there, and I go, once he turns to run, I'm throwing this football, and as I do it, he turns and moves into the position that I need him not to. 2nd and 10, 5-man box, let's run the football. And Dorian Dixon just gets beat again, and Tajay Spears just doesn't have time to do what he normally does, which is break down defenders, make a man miss, and then get to the open field. Instead, he's having to run away from DeForest Buckner. Not much he can do, and that's how the offensive line is playing it. Coming back to pass. Rolling. And Will Levis can't get the ball off, and he's injured. So he's had enough. Well, fuck me. Trey Lance will come in, unfortunately. Will Levis is probably done for the day as well. Bringing down some guys. Let's send a little bit of a blitz. Let's send some pressure at him. Gonna bring Von Florence down to cover his man a little bit better. Quentin Ayers and Alec Pierce having to make both athletic plays to knock that ball away. Yeah, dislocated shoulder. He'll probably be out a couple weeks as well. So Malik Willis and Trey Lance, this is your time. If you guys want one of your starting jobs back, this would be the time to go out and try to get it. Von Florence there just doesn't come up hard enough on Jelani Woods. I understand why he doesn't want to as well, because, if you miss, I think that might honestly be worse in his situation anyway. 3rd and 4 now. Just a seam shot, and Caleb Farley knocks the ball out of Jelani Woods. He's like, I'm fucking tired of this shit. Mark Vickers making a nice move there on the punt return. You're not going to see it, more than likely, but made a decent move. Made a real decent move. So Trey Lanson, played with him in preseason, wearing number 5 here today. Took 15 away from him. 1st and 10. First action of the year. It's a throw to Josh Wiley at the first down marker, and we'll pick it up 12 yards there. Immediately starting off pretty decently. Spread them out 5 wide. Let's see what we can get done. Trey Lance going to be a little bit more athletic than Will Levis, but not quite as athletic as a guy like Malik Willis. 1st and 10, going to run towards Buckner, and Spears still picks up 4 there. At least he's back up to 3 yards a carry. And go PA cross shot. Gonna send Howard immediately. I don't need him blocking and then releasing. Just go now. If that's Burks, he's open, and no. That's Julian Blackman coming up and making the swat away. Is he playing corner for them? I've seen him down in the box multiple times. No, now he's back. 3rd and 6. Need it here. There's Hopkins, and just a bad fucking ball. Poor accuracy. Of course it is. Out of reach. 4th and 6. 1st and 10 at their own 24. They finally elected to bring a ball out, and they lost a yard on field position, so probably won't be doing that again for the rest of the game. 1st and 10. Gonna send some pressure. Let's put some pressure on Richardson. I think that's a smart move here. No, and they hand it off, but Jeffrey Simmons able to make the tackle there. 9 for 69 for Jonathan Taylor. Nice. Trey Lance will go to the tablets, see what he could have done better. There wasn't much you could have done better besides just hit the fucking guy that was open. And Anthony Richardson playing dangerous there. We bring 6, but then drop 1 after the blitz comes. Anthony Richardson has to scramble. And just nothing going there. 3rd and 9. Dropping back to pass. And misses the throw to Jelani Woods. And it's going to be 4th and 9. These teams just going back and forth with inaccurate passes. not too much excitement here. Besides the pick six, it would be a 3-point game. If they didn't throw that pick six, hell, it could be a tie game right now, all things considered. 4th and 9. Mark Vickers back to return. Not as quite of a good a return as last time. Mountain zone with Hassan Haskins. If we have to, we'll go towards Hassan Haskins. We'll play some more power football than anything. See what we get. O.J. Howard in motion. Not exactly the best blocking tight end we have, but 2nd and 9 now. 1-yard rush there for Haskins. Just nothing going. I'm seriously considering just going like 5 wide the rest of the game and just hitting quick patterns if we have to at this point. Because there's just nothing going in the ground game. It's not worth anything right now. It's just not. You know, Spears is having to fight for a 4-yard gain where he's having to like fight through 2 tackles and barely gets 4. Changing up some of the routes here. Lance, if you don't see anything, you have a little bit of athleticism. Try to use it. Wiley. Open, middle of the field, and he catches. He's probably been the player of the game so far, besides McCreary, of course. 1st and 10, they're going to swap the safeties for some reason. Play action fake, rollout. Wiley open again. Lance off balance. Wiley all the way to the end zone. Touchdown, Josh Wiley. Josh Wiley has very much, improving his status among the team. Coming in for Chig. Playing incredible. The first 2 games he didn't get to play much, but when he did play, he was on blocking assignments, and he played those well, and now he's playing the receiving game really well. D-Hop, very good block, understands that just because he's not getting the football doesn't mean he can't help out the team. Oh, the Colts looking to respond. Their offense needs to get going. Richardson can't keep having these bad balls, but you can't really afford to just run the ball all that much. You're down 3 scores at this point, and they're going to anyway. Von Florence misses. Shire there to clean it up. X Factor going for Jonathan Taylor is going to be harder and harder to stop now. We thought he was hard in the first half. He's going to be extra hard now. Going to bring Florence down in the box. Say, fuck it. If we have to, we'll run 5D lineman again. Richardson scrambling. Florence, get there. Tries to help out, but just takes him away from Caleb Farley. Richardson, also another huge human being, 6'4", 6'5", 240, runs a fucking, 4'4", feels like. Just not exactly the guy we want running the football either, but I guess he's probably the better option of running the football than Jonathan Taylor is. 2nd and 13 now after a stuff that should take away his X factor as well. Joseph Asai coming up clutch there in the run game. So far, Osai and Calais Campbell have been the leaders of this defensive front, which is weird considering their overalls and not having, superstar dev traits. Incompletion here from Anthony Richardson. 3rd and 13 now. Just need another good play. Ooh, what? That's going to be fucking roughing the passer, isn't it? Yep. I came late with Jeffrey Simmons, and I knew that it probably put him into an animation that I didn't want, and yeah, that sucks. That's my bad. That's my bad. That's my bad. That sucks. 1st and 10. Pistol formation. 2 tight ends, 1 running back with 2 receivers. Jelani Woods is open, but so is Josh Downs, and Josh Downs wins that corner route against McCreary. Didn't quite have over-the-top help that he did last time, tried to play underneath and just got burnt. Not exactly what we need now, McCreary. I just need you to play safe. I don't need you to play aggressive right now. And there goes Taylor up for another gain. End of the 3rd quarter here, though. They got to move a little faster. 2nd and goal. Got to stop them. Got to come up big, defense. Right here, right now, this is where I need you the most. Harold Landry in the flats against their backup tight end and can't bring him down. Even when you have a wide open tackle, yes, it's open field tackling, but you have to be able to come up with those plays. You're a fucking NFL linebacker, a starting NFL linebacker. You got to come up with those plays. And Caleb Farley gets burnt, but he knocks the ball away. 4th and goal, and he comes up big once again. Caleb Farley came up big on a 3rd down. He came up big last week. He has continued to play well this season. They have to settle for a field goal now. Trey Lance is going to come out starting at the 25. Here we go. We're going to keep Haskins in. Everybody else can go out on routes. 1st and 10. This drive can basically put the game away if we play it correctly. Nothing really open. Lance, a little bit more athleticism, like I said. Just throw the football away. 4 for 7, 75 yards and a touchdown. He's played well. Hasn't played great, but I mean, that's pretty good. 4 for 7, 75 yards. One of them is a throwaway. That's not bad. 2nd and 10. Burks wins his route against Kenny Moore. He'll pick up a first. 1st and 10. 5 for 8 now for our main man, Trey Lance. Bring Hopkins in motion. Handoff Spears. But DeForest Buckner right there waiting. Dorian Dixon just can't handle him. And in 13. Hopkins right now. And he throws it behind him, and Kenny Moore has a pick. Where is that ball going? Yes, I'm telling you to throw it behind him, as in slow him down and let him turn and catch. So he's not just getting leveled by the linebacker. Instead, you throw it 4 yards behind him, and Kenny Moore just walks into a pick. 1st and 10 for the Colts now in our territory. Here's Jonathan Taylor, and Harold Landry finally makes a play, but after 5 yards, Shire just couldn't quite get over there. Gibbons slows him up. Gibbons just not being in the correct spots. I'm thinking Evans is going to get the start next week. The rookie, Gibbons just not in the right spots at the right times. He's slowing up Shire, which isn't helping as well. And we've seen Shire be productive this season. And Jonathan Taylor all the way down to the 7 now on a screen pass. Defense, it has its moments. I understand they can't stop him every single time. I'm well aware of that. But every time we have a good play, we have an equally bad play. Jonathan Taylor down at the 1. I thought that was in. Fuck it, just send engage 8. What's the big deal, right? And Danico Autry makes a stop. Another lower overall defensive lineman just winning his rep compared to some of these other guys. It's kind of disappointing, to say the least. Josh Downs on Shire, but Caleb Farley. No way did he just come up again. Or was that Amani Hooker? No, that was Amani Hooker. Oh yeah, I forgot to do formation subs on goal line. Fuck me. 4th and goal. And Davidson. No, but he's out of bounds. And Jeffrey Simmons down. Of course he is. 1st and 10. I'm going to play action. I'm going to try to surprise him. Get some yards here. OJ Howard. Catch. 1st down all the way out to the 28. We immediately surprise them. They're not ready for it. And Jeffrey Simmons, high risk of re-injury. Of course it is. Because why wouldn't it be at this point? Okay, DeForest Buckner is on your outside shoulder. Do not let him beat you to the inside. He does again. Spears, still no room to run. I can't continue to go to the ground game if there's nowhere to run. And I can't continue to go to the pass game if we continue to turn the ball over. It's either like, oh, hey, we're going to go out on 3 downs, or fuck it, we're going out with a pick. OJ Howard up to the 2nd level. Only 2 yards there. Yeah, 10 for 21. 2.1 yards carry just is not going to cut it from here on out. We're going to have to probably make some changes if this continues. Okay, let's go. 3rd and 7. D-Hop one-on-one with the smaller Kenny Moore. And overthrown by Trey Lance. I know we should have went for the 1st down. I know we should have probably looked for something shorter. But I see D-Hop one-on-one with Kenny Moore. Down on the sideline, D-Hop looked like he had a step as well. 6'2", good physical catcher versus Kenny Moore. I figured just throw it up, see if we can go get it. Unfortunately not. 4th and 7, punt the ball away. I'm going to be honest. If Gibbons starts getting cooked on this drive, I will very much put Evans in at this point. And Gibbons just not really there at all either. I know that's me as well, but geez, 1st and 10. You know what, Gibbons, just play a spy. Fuck it, we're going to have to sacrifice the zone for a QB spy here at this point. 1st and 10. Josh Downs there. Picks up the 1st. Granted, they're down 14, so it's not like a score kills us here either. Play action fake. Cover this middle. No, blocked away by Harold Landry and others. 2nd and 10 now. Forced into a hurry. I think that was Harold Landry anyway. 2nd and 10. Looking, scrambling. No, sacked by Landry. Coming up big, finally. Thank you, fucking Lord, dude. I still remember last year where he had a pick and a sack and a half in the first game and then didn't do anything for like 4 weeks. 3rd and 15, throws the ball away, getting chased down by Joseph Asai there. 4th and 15. If they don't get this here, we can virtually salt the game away. Again, put Evans in a spy. I can cover. Jelani Woods and Shire knocks the ball away. Evans celebrating again. Evans was on the field for the Texans game when we won that, so he's probably been enjoying it. 1st and 10, gonna run the football here. Not a whole ton of room. 1 yard rush there. Hassan Haskins now onto the field. Christian Malone should crack back on DeForest here. Yeah, he does, but sheds instantly again. Probably shouldn't throw the football, but yeah, we shouldn't throw the football. There are no just read options in this fucking playbook? Apparently not. Awesome. We changed up playbooks, and yeah, it's not going good so far. Not this week, just in general. Forrest Buckner, X Factor now. Gonna motion Burks over. He's going to help lead block a little bit. Nope, he brings his corner. Never mind, take it back. Go back the other way. Snap the football, get to the edge. Explode now, Spears. Gets 12 for 27. Just nowhere near the efficiency that we need. And he steps out of bounds, so that fucking run play wasn't even worth it at this point. And it's a punt play, 4th and 5. I'm going for it. Fuck it. Let's close this game right here, right now. Trust this offense. I'm going to send Spears out. Just have him run it out. See if he occupies this corner just enough. Wiley, go up and get it, buddy. No, knocked away by Julian Blackman. Minute, though. I don't think they have a chance to really come back at this point. A minute to go score 14. No timeouts. AI's bad at managing clock anyway. I don't really mind it. Sacked there by Joseph Asai and probably Calais Campbell as well, so he'll get another half sack. He's up to 3 on the year. Back to pass again, and sacked again by Harold Landry. 3rd and 24. For the game, basically. And he throws the ball away, getting pressured by Harold Landry. 14 seconds. They're going to go for it. I don't really understand why you would, but shit, I'm on Vickers. And we didn't put... Quentin Ayers can have a pick, and he does! With a convoy, and Caleb Farley doesn't pick up a block. Why the fuck aren't you picking up blocks, dude? Give Quentin Ayers a chance to get his first pick 6. He has the speed to do it. He just goes up and gets it, and Von Florence just kind of helps. That ball was never going to be completed. I'm throwing the football. I don't give a fuck. Nope. I'm throwing the football. Fuck you. It's going to end so badly. I already know it, but whatever. Burks could be an option here, as well as Hopkins. Oh, Burks. Burns his man. Burks! Touchdown! To end the game, Treylon Burks, deep route, picks up a touchdown. Gets, for some reason, matched up on a linebacker, and they don't play over the top. They don't play man-to-man, match up there, and just burns him. What a fucking end to this game. Pick by Quentin Ayers. Treylon Burks last second. We're just going to throw it up and see if we can get him some yards and some score. Trey Lance has a 2-touchdown performance. He came in, played pretty nicely besides a couple of bad balls across the middle. Hell, he was hitting more balls on the outside than he was on the inside. Will Levis dislocated shoulder. That will be addressed at the main menu once we see how long his injury will last. I'm going to grab thumbnails and stuff for the end of the video, and I will see you guys back at the main menu. So we do have some upgrades to take care of. Quentin Morris, Jeffrey Simmons, Roger McCreary, Mark Vickers, and Keenan Evans all have upgrades, which is very nice to see for a lot of these guys, because these guys are going to be instrumental to our team over the next couple seasons. Of course, Jeffrey Simmons leaving the game again, so he's only played a game and a half. Isn't great. QB1 checking I'm not even going to go into because I know we didn't hit the goal. He left the game early anyway. Let's sim to the Texans week. We are going to their stadium this time, of course. We were able to bounce back from the Dolphins game. Two of our practice squad players got signed, Jalen Tolbert and Darius Rush, both guys that we ended up dropping this previous week, so that is understandable. The Texans 2-2, they're third in the division. Jaguars 4-0. Titans, of course, us 3-1. It should be an interesting matchup. We ended up going and beating them. We had a really good game against the Colts, a bounce-back game, but we do need to find that rush unit. We are going to be probably without... Actually, I didn't see the fact that Will Levis was going to be out. He's not going to be out. So we're only without Drew Sample for one more week, and then he'll be back. We are back with Will Levis, of course, as well. And, of course, I think Trey Lance played pretty well. The only bad thing that really happened were the two over-the-middle plays where he didn't hit Wiley on one of them, and then he didn't hit D-Hop and threw the pick to Kenny Moore. Those were two very bad plays, in my opinion. But overall, not a bad game from him coming in there late and not being able to start the game. He played pretty well. Will Levis needs to get stuff going. The O-line needs to get the run game going a little bit better. We can probably try to move things around maybe, of course. But we will see what we have in store for the next week. With that being said, guys, if you guys enjoy this video or any of the videos here on my channel, I'd appreciate it if you guys do stick around and subscribe. I'll be back with more videos like this, whether it's Tennessee Titans franchise or other draft content, with the draft just around the corner and free agency, of course, going underway in just a few short weeks. With that being said, guys, I'm out. Peace.